everyone, and welcome back to Radio Geonosis, where we talk about Star Wars from a certain point of view. I'm Angie.
I'm Aaron. What's up, guys?
Hey, we don't have Emma tonight. She had to work.
It's okay. It's all right. Shout out to Emma. She's taping boxes and all that.
Yes, exactly, at UPS.
Yeah.
And we're not doing anything because we're not working today.
No, we're off today.
Today our show is going to be about clones and StormTroopers. Because this was Emma's thing, too.
Yeah,
she wanted to know about it.
I was just going to say, like, this is what she wanted to know. So now she's probably just going to have to just listen.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah, she's going to have to just listen. But we know what, all there is to know. Somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat.
There's some things I could still brush up on and know still.
Yeah, we'll go over it, and, we'll see. But before we do that, we'll do some hot happenings this week. Last Saturday, I was at the Kings game, which was really, really...
You got the beanie?
Yeah, I got the beanie, but boy,
nice.
We really did work, man. We got in there. We had 20 minutes to get dressed. We had to go out in the front by LA Live, and they did a bunch of videos. We danced around with kids and took a lot of pictures, and it was a lot of fun. Then we got back inside, and I got some of Lenny and Larry's cookies, and as they were doing the body scan, one fell in the trash. I was really upset.
Did the kids have a good time, though?
Yeah, the kids had a really good time. Yeah, they had a really good time. I had a boy come and take a lot of pictures with me. We ended up going back out in the hallway where the concessions and everything is. We ended up going out there and taking pictures with a bunch of people, and the young man was back because he had taken pictures with me outside.
The costumes look good. Everyone's costumes.
Yeah, a lot of people on point.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
It looked good. Everyone's costumes look good, which was cool.
And I got to wear my cloak. I always like it when I can wear my cloak.
Yeah, the cloak looked good too. Yeah, and the King, did the Kings win that game? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did.
They did. So
they
that
did
makes
win.
even more.
But I didn't stay for the last part, which was the dance cam. I wish I had stayed for the dance cam, but I was really tired. It was like 9:30, and I was ready to go.
Yeah. You have to drive all the way back.
Yeah. I didn't get home till midnight.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. By the time I got out of my costume and then got everything in the car, because I was parked across the street, but I was on the third floor down, so you have to walk all the way down and all that fun stuff. But it was really fun. I had a really good time. Where my friend Melinda said I ended up on a commercial. I'm going to try and find that. I was like, that's so cool. And then I've seen a YouTube video of us. So it was fun.
Yeah. As long as it was a good time.
Yeah. The one thing I'm sad that I didn't get to do that I wanted to do was walk out on the ice, because you can actually walk out on the ice once they're done skating, because the ice is all chopped up, so you can walk out there with your shoes on.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was kind of sad I didn't get to do that. But
one quick question: did they have the red? They had the red carpet. That was the tarp you were talking about, like.
Yeah, they had red carpet once you walked out, but you could walk out on the ice.
Actual. Okay.
Yes, I'll show you the video afterwards.
Right. Yeah.
So it was cool. Okay, so one of the things this week, and I just saw this today, taking to Instagram, John Boyega Finn shared an image of his hand, which was very roughed up, and he had a little bit of blood on it. And this is what he said, and I quote, this is what he wrote. Great day, great working day on set. And this was double exclamation points. The whole team pushed themselves today and achieved something visually crazy. I've had many moments of shock on set, but not like today. And I can't wait until you know why. So, I mean, to me, that sounds really cool. I cannot wait for us to see this. I know that J.J. Abrams is not going to disappoint.
I don't know when the trailer's dropping, though.
No, I've seen so many things, and, you hear all these, rumors like, it's going to be dropping this day, it's going to be dropping that day, and lies, all lies.
Yeah, all lies. I'm just really excited, obviously for various reasons. But if John Boyega's saying that, and I don't think he would just say that just to gas people up for any reason, for no reason at that fact. So I'm just excited. I'm ready for a trailer. The trailer's been dropping left and right.
Hints have been dropping.
Yeah.
Hints,
as far as Star Wars goes, hints. But so I'm just hoping for a trailer soon, maybe around March or April.
Yeah, keep our fingers crossed. Aaron, you might know about this one. Electronics Art cancels open world Star Wars game.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a Star Wars game. It was supposed to be called Star Wars 1744, something like that. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I believe it was something like that, or 1413, something like that. And you were going to be playing a bounty hunter. You're gonna have the jetpack, the sniper rifles, and everything like that. It was gonna play just like Battlefront's single player campaign played, with some other different mechanics. But yeah, that's a wrap.
I think what the problem was, someone was writing is something about EA Games has signed with Disney, so they maybe have some stringent rules they have to follow. I don't know.
Yeah, and Disney has Disney Interactive. They have their own gaming. They have their own gaming department. So, it could be Disney wants to do the game.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
Disney. But also at the same time, anything has to do with animation and visuals and games. Or whatever.
Maybe they're trying to control before these shows and movie come out.
Yeah, that could be it. Exactly. With the streaming services and all that stuff coming out, everyone's just vying for what's theirs or a bigger percentage. At this point. So
yeah, and then there was that fan film. That I guess there was a little bit of things going on about the fan film, but I mean, I don't want to. Dupree wrote that it's all gotten straightened out. So,
did it?
Yeah.
You know what? This could sound weird, but I think it's just because the fan film was good.
It was really good.
And I think like if it's yours and then you see someone else kind of replicate or do it a little better or do it, well,
or get 80,000 views.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, hold on, like don't forget. You know what I mean? So yeah, but the fan film was good. And there was another one I seen too that was good. I saw just a few minutes, but it was already pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them, and I didn't realize how good they really are good.
I was on Bat in the Sun. I was on Bat in the Sun the other day. And it was Batman versus Darth Vader, and that was really, really cool. I follow Kevin Porter. I follow him on Instagram, and I didn't even know there was an episode like that. But he was Batman, and someone else was Darth Vader, and they fought. And Darth Vader.
You have to, of course, he did.
Yeah, but that was
although Batman does have a lot of.
He put up a fight. For sure.
Yeah, because Batman does have a lot of his toys and things, and that his gadgets that would allow him. I mean, he is a good fighter.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But Darth Vader is.
It's just Darth Vader.
Yeah, he's more man than more machine than man.
Shout out to Kevin Porter and Bat in the Sun. They do dope stuff over there.
Yeah.
They do.
But we have a birthday also. The voice of Vader, Mr. James Earl Jones.
Happy birthday, James.
Yes, so he's got that birthday. So I'm like, oh my God, how can you? His voice is so iconic. Yeah. Even when you see him in other movies, what do you think of? You think of Darth Vader.
Yeah, you think you know Darth Vader for sure. You automatically Luke, I'm your father, or like you're just saying Simba the whole time.
Exactly.
The Lion King.
I liked when he was on Big Bang Theory, and he went to Carrie Fisher's house with Sheldon Cooper, and they rang her doorbell and took off, and she got mad at him. She's like, "It's not funny anymore." She's like, "James, it's not funny anymore." But he was so funny the way he acted with Sheldon. I thought it was a really cool episode.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to go to Clones and Stormtroopers. Now, Clones were 10 years prior to the Clone Wars. Senator Palpatine at the time from Naboo and his Jedi-turned-Sith apprentice, Count Dooku, joined forces to create a clone army in the genetic laboratory of Camino. I write it down, Camino. Yes, Camino. I always get that messed up. The clones were an altered copy of the bounty hunter, Jango Fett.
Yeah. And it's so crazy. I was watching, just because this episode, I was watching Attack of the Clones, rewatching it.
I know, me too.
Yeah, because it's just dope seeing them interact with the Jedi. Like they don't treat them like they are clones, and that kind of
matters, and
that matters.
They are, and they're not. In a strange way. Yeah, they are, but they're not. They are because they're a carbon copy of the original host, but they all have individual attitudes.
Yeah, they're all not they all have different traits and stuff like that.
Right, and I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, I wonder if that would be true. I know that they're
clone someone.
Yeah, I know they've cloned a dog. I know they've cloned a sheep, but they've never cloned a person.
Yeah.
Would that person have the same or different? Because their mindset is actually different.
Yeah, I would think so.
But they would still have the same kind of traits because they have the genetics of that person. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I would be frightened if they did that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Like, that's where we should start first, how scary that would be.
Yes.
But I think so. I think you would have different, because you see what Attack of the Clones and the writers of Star Wars, George Lucas and his friends or his other staff of writers, they feel the same way. Like, yeah, they're clones, but none of them they act the same.
Right.
Everyone has a different attitude. They're, some are generals for a reason because they're a little more, than others, or things like that. And I forgot the name of the one with the defect. Yeah, it's kind of like the Hunchback.
99 wasn't he?
Like the janitor.
Yeah,
like,
wasn't he 99 or something like that?
Too. Yeah. So, and so there's awfully those defects with the clones too, which you would think there would be with clones.
Yeah, I think that I had read that there were some that were defective, so they put them to the janitorial service.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's got to clean the place.
Yeah, so someone's got to clean the place, and so so I think they would be different. Not I think that someone would be cloned, they would have a whole different attitude from maybe the first.
And they do kind of point that out in the very first Clone Wars cartoon, because the very first season, the show number 1, they go with Yoda. There's 5 of them that go with Yoda, and he knew the difference between all of them, because one was more about strategy, the other one was about guns, the other one, they all had something that they were really good at. So it's Jango Fett, but all different parts of Jango
different
Fett.
Parts of Jango Fett. Yeah, absolutely. I
would
agree.
some of them have, because there were so many and that we didn't even know about, would they have the same exact traits? So it's kind of
it's interesting.
A slippery slope.
It is.
So Master Jedi Cypher Dyas foresees the need for an army for the Republic and goes to the Jedi and Jedi Council and Senate. They turn him down. He tells them this is going to happen. He has almost like what Anakin has. He could foresee the future.
Yeah.
And so he saw that there was going to be a need for that. And it also could have been, we don't know if it was Palpatine putting that idea in his head. Because Lord knows he did that for Darth Vader.
Yeah. So possibly.
Yeah, possibly he did it. Count Dooku manipulates him to help commission the army. And then, and then Count Dooku funds it. We know that Count Dooku was the person who funded the building of the clone army.
Yeah.
He was the financial.
He was the financial guy.
But again, here you see Palpatine working his magic.
As he always does. It never fails him.
He gets Count Dooku to get Cypher Dyas to do it. Then he gets Count Dooku to kill Cypher Dyas. Then he gets Anakin to kill Count Dooku. So he kills. It's almost like a criminal killing all the people who know what's going on.
Yeah, it's like a mob boss's rise to the top.
Yeah, it really is. He was a mob boss.
Yeah, intergalactic mob boss for sure.
Now, Cypher Dyas erases all evidence of the planet Kamino in the Jedi archives. Dooku later kills Cypher Dyas. The army takes 10 years to build. So they have to give them time to grow, because they were just little seedlings. Yeah. And so they had to give them time to grow. And they had 1 million of the dudes, so it was going to take a little bit.
Yeah, it was going to take a while
to grow these guys. But, it takes, what cracks me up, and I was talking to everyone yesterday at practice, that it took a little kid to figure out what had happened to Kamino, because it wasn't in the archives. So Anakin, Obi-Wan and Yoda, very powerful guys, could not figure out how this got out of there, and a little kid tells them someone erased it from the archives.
Someone.
Maybe it was just so basic they just couldn't.
They're overthinking it in a sense. Yeah. I would have to say that if a little kid told him, I think someone just deleted these. You know what I mean?
Because it's so simple that it's beyond that.
Yeah, it just went over their head. They were just too smart for their own good at that particular moment.
Oh my God, it's like one of those really high techie guys can't fix a toilet.
Yeah, there you go.
Count Dooku sought Jango Fett as the template for the clones, for the clone army. Count Dooku had heard about Jango, that he was a great warrior who had killed Jedi. He actually puts him to a test before he asks him to do it. Fett was not a Mandalorian, but had trained and fought with them.
Yeah.
So his family was on the planet where the Mandalorians had come to, and so when his family gets killed as a young boy, he goes with the Mandalorian to train and to do that sort of thing. Yeah. So Jango Fett, Obi-Wan asks him if he ever heard of Count Dooku. He says no. He goes, I was contacted by a man named Tyrannus.
Tyrannus.
Yes, which is Dooku's Sith name.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in fact, it was him.
Yeah, it was him.
Yes, it
under
was,
a different alias.
Yes, that was a very smooth word.
Yeah.
Jango enlists 3 Mandalorians to help with the training programs of the clones.
Mm-hmm.
So they are trained as Mandalorians, which is interesting.
Yeah, and but also which tells why they're so like
very good on the battlefield.
Very good on the battlefield. Yeah.
And they have an accelerated. They must have done something to alter the clones to make them grow at an accelerated rate. So the Kaminoans actually knew how to do that to make them grow at an accelerated rate. Yeah. That's like putting Miracle Grow in there.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy that that was thought of like throughout all this.
Yes, but they had to, and they even admit it in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. They do.
That they had to do an accelerated rate, or else it would have taken a lifetime
to get them on the battlefield, basically.
Yeah, because you would have to have. It would actually take 40 years because they were 20 years old when they hit the battlefield. So if you waited 20 years, you could have been growing people, but still, it's still either he's right. They're right. It would have taken a lifetime to build that army, 1 million guys.
Yeah, 1 million guys.
Yeah. Palpatine arranges for the Kaminoans to implant an inhibitor chip in the clones, and he actually, I'm wondering if he did that without Dooku's knowledge. They never really say that. Yeah. This ensures the clones will be unable to resist certain commands. So he must have known they were very, they had their own mind. They would have their own mindset.
Yeah.
And be able to say, no, I don't want to do that. Like Order 66. The conspiracy nearly comes to light. Remember that one? Mm-hmm. Comes to light when one of the clone's inhibitor chips malfunctions, but the evidence is suppressed. And I believe that's when 99, the guy who was the almost like the handicapped guy.
Yeah.
He was killed.
Yep.
Yeah. But it almost came to light. And see, I put Cam. So I knew to say Kaminoans.
Kaminoans, there you
yes. go. Yes. I remember David would get mad when I didn't say it right. Clones are 10 years old, but when they go to the Clone Wars, when the Clone Wars starts, but technically they're 20 years old because they have an accelerated rate. And one of the things that I read was that when the StormTroopers came after the Empire is now coming up, after the Jedi are all gone, there really wasn't a place for these old guys.
Yeah.
What do they do? But did they just wander off or go somewhere until they passed away?
Maybe special missions. Is because they don't really say.
No,
but then
did they go back to Cam?
But then we see
Camino.
And then we see it's not who do we see in Emperor Strikes Back?
We see Commander Cody. No, Captain Rex.
Captain Rex. You know what I mean? So maybe special missions. Maybe they did it until they passed away or trained some of the stormtroopers. Maybe, you know what I mean? That's what I would think. I would think that's what they did. Instead of, because how they are, I can't see them just kind of just drifting away.
Yeah,
just
because
not doing anything. You're a soldier. You're bruning. You're to be a soldier. So I think you would do something along those lines, special missions and some security work or something like that.
Probably cleaning the bathrooms.
There you go, that too.
Of the Death Star.
Of the Death Star, though.
Captain Rex and Commander Cody worked closely with Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan, but it's actually, there were 5 of them that actually took out that chip, and Captain Rex was one of them. Commander Cody, fortunately, did not. He did not.
Yeah.
He hands at the very end of, or during the Revenge of the Sith, Cody actually hands Obi-Wan his lightsaber, but then a little bit later, Order 66 comes into play, and then he goes after him.
Yeah, not too long after that.
Yeah, didn't really know.
Yeah.
First batch of clones see the battlefield on Geonosis.
On Geonosis.
Yeah, the earliest clones wear the white armor with the fin on the top of their helmet.
Right there.
Yeah, I really liked, the clone armor. We did a show on that. And I liked clone armor rather than I think that it was really the coolest stuff.
Yeah. The clone armor is just really clean and sleek and to me it is.
It had different colors, it had skirts with it, it had all different things, and I think with the troopers all we saw was the special guys. They had, like if it was a commander
like a
or whatever.
shoulder pad
he had that like orange thing to signify
the rank.
Right. Now with stormtroopers, The Empire recruits its soldiers from populations and instills in them a fierce loyalty, patriotism, with dehumanizing. I'm like, dehumanizing, really?
Oh, yeah.
Military doctrine. Imperials have ironically achieved greater uniformity and eliminated individuality among the ranks. This was used instead of cloning armies. So they got what they wanted, not from the clones, but from people.
From people,
just normal people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we saw it in Solo, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, overpopulate yeah, they'll just go to different planets and make their presence felt, make their presence known. Like, you have no choice. They try to sell them on the perks of, like they try to sell Han on the perks of being in the Empire, and then.
Yeah.
Just,
but this doctrine and it achieves a greater uniformity, and it gets rid of individuality, which is kind of strange because you have the individuality with the clones, but you don't have it with regular people.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind
of that tells you just who the Empire, who they are.
That tells you how much they were in control.
Yeah.
At this point, they were really, there was no Jedi or anything to interfere. Mm-hmm. They had free reign to take over.
Yeah, to do whatever they want.
Yeah, and that's scary even in this world.
Yeah, to think someone could have that kind of power.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's scary to think that that this could possibly happen somewhere. God, we've seen it with a few.
There's certain countries
Napoleon down the history.
Yeah, for sure.
Genghis Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Imperial academies began training cadets as young as 13, and I think Finn said that he doesn't remember his parents.
Yeah.
So said he was too young. So he obviously was younger
than 13.
Yeah. So after the Empire falls, and then the new order comes, mm-hmm. they obviously say, well, 13's not young, and it's not young enough. We got to take these dudes sooner.
Yeah.
They take people sooner.
Sooner than that.
Yeah. Molding young minds to become subservient to the Empire. It was easy to recruit from impoverished Outer Rim worlds. I thought that was interesting. Or war-torn planets, like in Solo, where the Empire is embraced as a savior after years of mental and physical conditioning. A cadet emerges as an anonymous soldier with a number for a name. Mm-hmm. That would be Finn. That would be all of them.
Yeah.
But they're recruiting from places like you said. Join us. Here's the perks.
Yeah, join us. If you survive, or if you show your loyalty, this is what you could get and you could obtain. This status, and they really sold people on it. Obviously, just ask Derek the Clinic. Yeah, just ask him. But they just sold people on what they showed. Like, again, going back to Solo, they showed him a video, and then he's thinking like, oh yeah, and then.
But you see the.
They just throw you out there.
Yes, and you see in Rogue One, Tarkin and Krennic, they both are vying for the top.
The top.
And how many people have done that?
Yeah.
To get where they're at.
To get where they're at, yeah, absolutely.
There's in The Force Awakens, and I don't know if you've noticed this, I think it's The Last Jedi, I can't remember. It was one of the two. There's a lady in there that looks like she's from Austin Powers. The evil lady.
The evil lady in
in Austin Powers, she looks like she's in either The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. I can't remember. She's like, turn on the laser.
Oh, fire the laser.
Fire the laser. She looks like the same lady. I'm like, dang, man, I wonder if that's her. I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, look it up. Fire the laser. Yeah.
Every time I see her in the movie, I'm like, I think of that. Fire the laser. But I think it's actually in The Last Jedi, the movie.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Okay, gender, race, and home worlds are completely masked by the white plastoid armor of the StormTrooper. They must be, now here's the height requirement here. They must be 5'11".
Oh, really? So they got to be pretty tall. You got to be pretty tall.
If you decided to join the Empire and you weren't that tall, I guess you'd be an officer because they were all different heights.
Yeah, you'll probably just be sitting at the computer or something like that.
Yeah, and fire the laser.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Now, here's what I want to know. When they decide to blow up Alderaan, do you remember when they pull the handle and that green light comes through and that dude is standing there? Yeah. How is he not getting all that radiation?
I have no idea. It has to be a space thing. I don't know, or that, I don't know. I have no idea how he didn't get, you know what I mean? That's very, very true.
I said the same thing about when you see Vader fly into the Death Star, right? And he lands his ship. The whole thing is still open. How are they not floating out?
Yeah. I have no idea.
How is there gravity in the dang thing?
Are those blue shields up?
I don't know, because when he comes in, he lands, right?
Yeah.
And you see, you can still kind of see the little the TIE fighters,
the TIE
outside
fighters
floating around out there.
Yeah.
How does everything not float outside?
I don't know.
Those are the two things I'm like, how does that guy not get all that radiation? I'm like, all right, John's not going to be able to work tomorrow. Yeah. He's green.
He's green. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know how that works. That's a question for
another time.
They'll probably just tell us like, don't worry about it.
That's a question for another time.
They would tell us like, don't worry about it. Like,
yeah, don't think too much on it. The guy's dead. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, most but not all are men. We don't know how many are women because we do know that the general that was wearing all the silver. What's her name?
Phasma.
Phasma is a woman.
You play as a woman in the Star Wars Battlefront game.
Yeah.
You can't tell, but again, like I said, you want to be able to know with the armor.
Yeah, you can't know, but
you want to be able to know anyway.
Most are men, but not all are men. And I think one of the things is because the height requirement.
Yeah.
There are women that are 5'11", but there's not a lot of women
that are 5'11".
Right. It's not a common thing. I mean, even here now, there's women, that are tall, but not all women are tall.
Yeah.
Early on in Palpatine's rule, the Emperor demonstrates a keen grasp of the importance of symbolism, recasting ancient icons of strength and unity from the Republic. I find that interesting that he used that. He used all of that. So maybe that's why he kept the Senate around for a while.
You think so? Yeah.
Because remember in Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, they get rid of the Senate at that point.
Yeah.
But they kept him around from Solo, Rogue One. But then we get 20 years? They kept him. He kept him around for 20 years. Maybe he does that for a reason.
Has to be.
Yeah, and other cultures. So he kept a lot of that stuff in a new and powerful imperial. Let me turn the page. Imperial light, such as the name of the Death Trooper. So he uses a lot of symbolism and things because we're going to get to the Death Troopers, which I thought was really cool.
The Death Troopers.
Yeah, but we don't see them till Rogue One though.
Yeah, they look really, really dope though.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're top of the line. They're
elite, yeah.
Right. They're like
elite.
The elite clones that we used to have.
They're elite.
And it's almost like Navy SEALs.
They're elite. They're the best of the best.
The best of the best.
Yeah.
But they have even a height requirement.
Okay.
Why does everybody have to have a height requirement?
It's a space thing.
It must be. People don't float out the ship, but yet you have to have a
Unless George Lucas always had a thing for small people.
Or tall people.
Or tall people, yeah. Or tall people, that's true. Let us know, George.
I know. Rey, the girl who plays Rey, she is actually tall.
I would think, because she's right, because John Boyega is not like a short guy, and like in the movie, even like they look.
Yeah, when she stood next to me, even though she was wearing heels, she's tall.
She's pretty tall, yeah.
Yeah, she's really tall. So he keeps all this stuff around, and so let's get to the Death Troopers. The name Death Troopers stemmed from a rumored project from the Advanced Weapon Research Division, designed to imitate. I'm trying to think of how to say that. Necronic flesh. So maybe it was something they were trying to revive. The Death Troopers were something from like dead people.
Yeah, that they tried to bring back to life.
Maybe what he was doing was in the lab.
And wouldn't that be called necromancy? Necroflesh.
That's what it said.
Necroflesh, yeah. But I think that what it's called though, like to someone, someone who wants to bring back someone dead or from the dead. I think that's being a necro. I think I could be wrong. I don't know.
Who was he trying to revive? That's interesting, isn't it? Was he trying to revive like old clones that were really, really good in battlefield?
That could be possible.
Strategies?
Yeah.
Because was it Commander Cody that he was trying to bring back? I don't know.
Yeah, necromancy is the practice of magic involving communication with the dead, either by summoning the spirit as an apparition or...
But it's necroflesh, so maybe
necroflesh is like, dead flesh, yeah.
So he was doing something with that.
Yeah.
Their black armor makes them appear all the more deathly. So deathly, the Death Troopers, something about that name, that they wanted to get this ominous kind of feeling, but also there was, because of this advanced research that they were doing, that they were basically trying to bring, maybe he was trying to do that in order to save himself. God only knows what he was doing.
Yeah, because I'm honest, I'm really thinking about it, and I can't really put my finger on it, but for them to be so highly ranked though, and also be skilled too.
Oh, they were really highly
They
ranked.
were already top of the line, and,
yes.
and the Empire was like, we have to find a way to keep for this person to come back and aid us. You know what I mean? Or
right. Was the reason. I'm gonna have to do more digging into that, because I found it in the Rogue One book.
But we should save them for another, because that's really interesting.
Yeah, I'll just go over a little bit about it, and then I'll do some more digging in there.
Yeah.
So I love doing that kind of stuff. Death Trooper armor has a base of blastoid coating with a newly developed spray polymer called Reflect. This makes Death Troopers harder to detect and well suited for stealth operations. Mm-hmm. So they were almost like stealth planes. Yeah. They could get in and out of places without anybody knowing.
And that's who you played in the Star Wars was a Death Trooper and her two comrades.
Really?
Yeah.
And they were guys that you didn't know what they were saying, first of all, because you remember in Rogue One they would be talking and you didn't know what they were saying. So it's maybe they're not human.
They look really, really cool though.
Maybe they are not human. Maybe they are reanimated people.
And they could communicate through the language of being reanimated, whatever a reanimated person.
Yeah, because they're talking to each other.
Whatever their dialogue is.
Yeah, because you notice in the movie you cannot understand what they're saying. Yeah. And last week we didn't know her name. It's Jen Erso.
Jen Erso.
Yes. I could not remember. I went home. I'm like, dang it! It was Jen Erso.
Jen Erso.
To be a Death Trooper, you must be at 6'5".
So you have to be pretty tall.
You have to be
6'5". Like a shooting guard.
Yeah, exactly. And be and be at the top of your class. And they, like I said, you're like Navy SEALs. But obviously these guys were, they did some sort of experiments on them or something in order to make them be like that, because when you hear them talking, it makes no sense. So I'm like,
no, it does not.
What is it about these guys? And it says they protect the high commanders in the Empire's army. Mm-hmm. Because they are with Krennic.
Yeah, they are like the Krennic.
Yes, so it's obvious that they were needed for a reason, and Krennic is the only person that you actually see with them.
With them, yeah. So that's why, but Krennic being the highest, the top of, he even tells Darth Vader what to do. Right. He answers like to the Chancellor.
He answered. Well, three of them did. It was Krennic, and it was Vader. And then it was Grand Moff.
Yeah,
Tarkin. But he wasn't Tarkin. Grand Moff yet. He was General Tarkin.
General Tarkin, yeah.
But he actually, Krennic goes to Vader. And Vader told him, "Don't be careful not to choke on your aspirations."
Yeah.
Because maybe he kind of rubbed him the wrong way.
Absolutely, and you don't want to get on Darth Vader's bad side.
No, because Anakin still he's still hurting. He's still recovering at this point.
Yeah, he's cold. He's a cold-blooded guy.
You know, and everything's been taken from him. One, his wife.
Exactly.
Under his own buffoonery.
So, like, your life is, like, nothing to him. He could care less. He, you know.
But to be mad at the Jedi, is dumb. They didn't do anything. He had done it all. He had done it all to himself. So, I mean, you're blaming someone else for something you did.
Which makes sense with Anakin, because he was skilled and talented and the second coming or whatever, the first coming or whatever, basically. But he always was like, you know, he would always
an
get in trouble.
Emotional wreck.
Yeah, and he would get in trouble for that. He would you know, there would be times where Obi-Wan would tell him, like, Anakin, like, chill out. You know what I mean? Like, you should be. You shouldn't even still be acting like this.
But you know what?
At this point,
it's hard because I think Anakin saw what Obi-Wan had done. You know, he was even drinking at the bar because remember in the beginning of Clone Wars, he says, "Where are you going? To the bar for a drink."
Yeah.
So you can have a drink and I can't. But I think, you know, the ball got rolling when he got there to train at the temple, and they told me he's too young. Mm-hmm. And then he didn't know what was gonna happen to him when Qui-Gon got killed.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "What's gonna happen to me?" Because he probably thought, "I'm gonna go back and be a slave." Mm-hmm. But Obi-Wan, being the man that he was, committed to Qui-Gon, said, "No, I'm gonna train you." Rather than, you know, who cares what Yoda wanted? Yoda and Mace Windu, which he made quick enemies of. Yeah. Even though he cared for them, he still, you know, Anakin still had a bad feeling about these guys.
Yeah, and Mace Windu having a bad feeling about it.
Exactly. Oh, he was right, man. He cut up his hands and threw him out the window.
Because he just knew that it just, you know, like how even though you guys are seeing too much of like him being the chosen one and being skilled, but you guys are missing like his attitude. You know, like Mace Windu didn't like his, he respected his skill. He never did that, but he didn't like, you know, how quick he would tick, or like him not listening to the orders.
You know, what do you do when you have, you know, someone of this power range? You just can't set him free in the galaxy.
That's what, and being a wild card and being the chosen one, probably with all types of just, you know, promise and skill, and you know and especially in the world of Star Wars, how powerful you could get. They know, like, man, if there's someone like this out there, and like if they're kind of just led astray just a little bit, that could be
bad.
That could be really, really bad.
As we know, it turned out to be.
And again, with Mace Windu, he just saw probably how fragile Anakin was, because he was fragile. Like, you know, things would get on his skin quick. You know what I mean? He was quick tempered. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think Padme saw that when we killed all the Sand People, and the women and the children.
And I think Mace Windu saw himself a little bit, because Mace Windu he looked like he probably gave a little bit of trouble. It's not like, I don't think Mace Windu was the
perfect guy.
But he just learned, you know, over time, like, you know, it's all worth it.
Yeah. But you can't say it's all worth it for you and not let Anakin. Yeah,
true.
And I think that's where maybe he was angry.
And that's where the conflict comes.
Yeah.
You know, because you want to please everyone, but then you also know that certain things aren't right. And
exactly.
You know. Yeah.
Exactly. Now next week we're going to be doing. I want to do tabletop games because I've never done that, and Emma says she's going to teach me how to play Dungeons and Dragons, because I've never done that either, and I would like to do that.
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons either.
I've never done that, so I would like to learn.
Not the board game, no.
Yeah, I would like to learn the board game.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah.
I think it would be kind of cool. She said she's going to teach me, and so I'm going to tell her that you're going to have to sit in with me too.
That would be live?
Well, no, we're gonna do it with I guess there's a bunch of people getting together to do that.
Oh, and
then I'm gonna learn. So are you? If I'm gonna learn, you're gonna learn.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn.
You know, but I do want to go to Line Breakers, because that's the gaming place that's on 7th Street.
Yeah, next to the boxing gym. Yeah,
I really want to go.
Yeah,
to me that's like a nightclub in Vegas.
After we cleaned like downtown 7th Street one time. We helped like throw away stuff down there, like clean up. We went there and they were like playing Warhammer and like Dungeons and Drag. They sell all kind of like dope. They sell like merch there too, like backpacks and clothes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's a dope spot. They sell wallets and stuff too. Like, yeah,
I would love to go in there. You know, to me that's a cool thing to do. I've done the club scenes, I've done the nightclub scenes, and you know, it's cool to dance and everything, but this to me is more exciting. I know it sounds crazy, but it's more exciting.
This is geek entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I think it's cool. I mean, when we went to the book, we went to like the book signing, and I was Bara Sophie. Some guys were there playing the game, and I didn't really have a chance to watch because I had to get dressed and we had to do that, you know. But to be able to see them playing that, it's it's really a cool thing to see.
To check out.
Yeah. I mean, I find myself really, really liking this stuff. Like I said, I've been on the other side and, you know, done the club scene and all that. The only other thing that I find exciting for me is motorcycle racing. I love motocross. I love the desert. I love supercross. I love all of that. And it's okay to like all those things.
No, absolutely, yeah. It's okay to like what you like.
Yeah, and, you know, I've learned that throughout the years that I don't care if people... Wow, she's nerdy or what? I don't care. You don't like it? Okay, you know, I'm not asking. Yeah, I'm not asking you to like it or not. But
it's not your choice.
That's right. It's mine.
It's my choice.
Yes. So with that, we're gonna next week we'll do tabletop games. We'll do a little bit of history because Star Wars actually has interactive games, and they started like that. They have journals and things that are interactive, and I was going to actually buy some of the journals because it is in the Star Wars book, like their line of which books go next, you know, and which books you need to read. And somebody wanted $1,000, so it's obvious.
Yeah, it's obviously
It's obvious that it's something worth having.
Yeah.
Not that I was going to have it.
It's something to look into, though, for sure.
Yeah. So we'll be doing tabletop games next week, and then Aaron and I are going to be, we'll try and get some pictures, do an interview while we're doing our Dungeons and Dragons
tutorial.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to be like lost. We'll be eaten by a dragon the first time around or something.
I'm looking forward to it.
So for all of us here at Radio Geonosis, we'll see you next time. And
be sure you guys follow us on YouTube. Let's make sure we get those subscribers this year. YouTube, Radio Geonosis. Facebook, Instagram at Radio Geonosis. Twitter, I believe, also at Radio Geonosis.
We don't have a Twitter page anymore. Instagram, Radio Geonosis. And then
Facebook, and then
Radio Geonosis 2.0.
2.0, and then iTunes.
Yes, in iTunes.
Yeah, so make sure you guys check us out, man, and like the Mad Studios Instagram page as well, too.
Yes, please do. These guys have got an awesome recording studio now. I mean, this is legit.
Yeah, it's legit. So make sure you guys check out, like, keep up with Mad Studios, Radio Geonosis, everything we got going on.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try and link that. I'll learn how to link the pages together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if you've got pictures, I can post them to the Radio Geonosis page on Instagram so people can see.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys, man.
Yes. So from all of us here at Radio Geonosis, we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.